Hello and a very warm welcome to all our viewers and super football fans at special broadcast Euro 2020 Off the Field, bringing you a roundup with updates and facts from the ongoing European Championship. In today's special edition, and as the Euro 2020 enters the quarter-final stage, we bring you top updates on biggest upsets, interesting facts, stats and fan reactions from Euro 2020 knockout stage. Starting with England's first win over Germany knockout match since 1966, England struck twice to end a 55-year wait for a knockout tie victory over Germany, while Ukraine edged out 10-man Sweden at Hampton to set up a Euro 2020 quarter-final. Amid scenes of huge tension and elation at Wembley to reach the Euro 2020 quarter-finals, Gareth Southgate's side battled hard to earn the statement victory that has so often eluded England. And it was their talisman of this tournament, Raheem Sterling, who made the decisive breakthrough. Whereas for Ukraine, Artem scored in added time in extra time, and Sweden lost Marcus Danielsson to a red card in extra time after a VAR check. With penalties looming, one of 12 substitutes, Toprak headed a dramatic winner from close range. It's time to start with a leading story of the day as Euro 2020 enters the quarter-final stage. After so much of speculations amid COVID-19, Euro 2020 kicked off. It's not just a treat for fans to watch one of the biggest festivals of football come alive, but the ups and downs with huge upsets in this Euros 2020 took everyone by shock. In the next report, we bring you the biggest upsets of Euro 2020 so far. Take a listen.
The French sinks. Switzerland's victory over France on penalties in the round of 16 of UEFA Euro 2020 will be etched as one of the biggest upsets in the history of European Championship. Team France, the World Cup 2018 winners, had prepared themselves for a fight with a victory in their mind. Midway through the game, it did feel as if the French would emerge victorious. However, the French defense being caught on the back foot during the last 10 minutes of the game, the Swiss inched past and found the back of the net with an easy Seferovic brace. But at the 90th minute, Gavranovic found a cool header to the back of the net, making the scores level for the final time in the fixture. With the penalty scores still level at 4-5, Kylian Mbappe rose to take the 5th spot kick. The match ended with a 5-4 Switzerland victory. Young Czechs versus the Dutch. If we look at previous stats and records, there is absolutely no way for Czech Republic's football team to win against the Netherlands football team, who have been the World Cup 2010 finalists. But once the Orange were shown red, it all went the Czech Republic's way. The turning point of the game came in the 55th minute when Netherlands central defender Matthijs de Ligt was sent off for a handball when under pressure from Schick. The red card was given following a video review. With an increasingly delirious de Ligt handball that found him sent off, the 10-man Dutch squad struggled to keep the Czech in check. Thomas Hols found the net at the 68th minute mark, while Schick found the net at the 80th minute. The match ended with a 2-0 victory for the Czech Republic football team, while the Dutchess saw a disappointing exit. The Czechs have reached the last 8 of a major tournament for the first time since Euro 2012, when they lost to Portugal. They have not qualified for the past 3 World Cups and finished last in their group at Euro 2016. Way out for Team Ronaldo. Thorgan Hazard's stunning first half strike ended the Sulaco reign as European champions. Portugal had the early sniffs of goal with Diogo Jota dragging wide and Cristiano Ronaldo seeking to become the outright top scorer in the history of international football, stinging the palms of Thibaut Courtois with a free kick. The Red Devils failed to trouble Rui Patricio until close to the interval, when Hazard's vicious swerving effort faced past the Portugal number 1 to break the deadlock. In all fairness, the match-up in itself was fairly balanced on both sides, as Belgium packed its all-star team against Portugal's all-star team. If we look at the stats, Belgium have won 23 of their last 27 games, having won each of their last 14 Euro matches across qualifying and the finals, equaling the record set by Germany and currently Italy, while this is the second consecutive Euro tournament in which the champions exited in the last 16 after Spain in 2016. Spain ousted 2018 World Cup finalists Croatia. In what may have been the best game so far, Spain fell behind in the first half to a Pedri own goal from near the halfway line after keeper Unai Simon let a back pass bobble past him. But the three-time European champions recovered their poise and looked en route to a comfortable victory with goals from Pablo Sarabia, Cesar Azpilicueta and Ferran Torres. Spain striker Alvaro Morata enjoyed sweet redemption by helping fire his side to a 5-3 win over Croatia after extra time on Monday to reach the quarter-finals of Euro 2020 in an enthralling match laced with drama and storylines. Sports Desk, TT India.
And I'm joined by two of my colleagues, Anil and Narayan. Anil and Narayan, thank you so much for joining us at Euro 2020 discussion. Coming to you, Anil, first. World champions France were knocked out of the Euro 2020 tournament after a shocking defeat against Switzerland in the round of 16. What went wrong for Team France?
Well, one word, simple word to describe that: complacency. You know, you were 3-1 up. Switzerland had an opportunity after taking an early lead to go 2-0 up. They messed up on a penalty, and I think full marks to the French goalkeeper. He managed to save that. But somewhere deep down, you know, you were 3-1 up in that game, but Switzerland never, you know, believed that they had lost that outing. They gave it their all, and I think that's a surprising result, and that's the biggest shocker of this particular World Cup. You know, many expected France to play the final and do a double of winning the World Cup as well as winning a Euro. But this time around, I think you've got to give it to the Swiss manager. He kept on nagging the team to, you know, go forward, keep attacking, you will get your opportunities. And I think in the dying moments, I think French defense let their safeguard dip a bit, and Switzerland capitalized on it full time. And I think to lose the match in a shootout is heartbreak for any team. But I would say you got to give it to Switzerland, because the manner in which they played, they believed they had a chance, and I think they made full count of that particular chance. And that's what teams do at the big stage. You know, you need to make it count when it matters most, and I think that's one of the best examples of football that you could see. You never to give up, you know, that particular slogan, they never to give up in a football game. Switzerland showed it, amplified it to the best possible outcome.
My next question is to you, Narayan. 2010 World Cup finalist Netherlands crashed out of Euro 2020 following a shocking defeat to Czech Republic in Budapest. What were the reasons and your top observations?
Well, definitely Czech Republic produced one of the shocking results of this Euro 2020 tournament, defeating the 1988 Euro champions Netherlands. But we can say that they are the new teams who just bring some surprises in the tournament, like Czech Republic, Denmark, Switzerland, and they are just playing a few levels above their notch, and exactly that happened. And apart from it, we can say that the crucial and the turning point of the match was the red card to the Netherlands defender Matthijs de Ligt in the 55th minute of the game. That changed the whole complexion of the match. When you play in a top tournament like Euro and you lose one of your defender and you're more than over a half an hour time is remained, that costed the Netherlands. After that, the Czech Republic players Thomas Holz and Patrick Schick scored 2 goals, and it's very tough for any team, any opponent, to hold the team with the 10 man, and that exactly happened with the Netherlands team. And also they are going through a phase of transition right now. In 2010, when they played the finals of the World Cup against Spain, we can say that they also have their golden generation. Robin van Persie was there, and Doc Cute was there, and one of the best striker of the game, Arjen Robben, was there. Right now they are going through a phase of transition. They are just searching their right mix of players, and that exactly will take some time. But defeating a team like Netherlands by Czech Republic, definitely a surprise of the tournament.
Going on to the next biggest upset, Anil, my next question is to you. Portugal are out of the contention, having one of the greatest goal scorers. What was the reason?
Well, they banked on Ronaldo to the most, and Ronaldo with 5 goals and 1 assist was clearly the hot favorite and one with the scoring boots on. And it's not rocket science to discover that if you want to close out Portugal from scoring, you got to get Ronaldo in ifs and buts, and that's exactly what any team would do at the big stage. You just close them out. They don't have any other striker to come up and come good. They had Bruno Fernandes, who's done tremendously well, who's looked at a big star for the future, but then in this particular tournament he's looked pretty patchy in the way in which he's come out, and that's being a big undoing for the Portugal side. When you're banking too much on a star, you cut him out, rest of the things almost fall in place. And with an opponent like Belgium, where you're banking on 3 to 4 players to come up front, up good, it's really a tough ask for Portugal to stay alive in the tournament. I think Portugal paid a huge price because they ran into one of the hot favorites and world #1 team in the round of 16.
Anil, will this also impact Ronaldo's Juventus career anywhere?
Well, not exactly. Ronaldo has tasted Euro success in 2016. Ronaldo has got 5 goals, 1 assist, still looking for that golden boot from this particular tournament as the highest scorer. I don't see any potential of anybody coming close to him except for Raheem Sterling going the distance, taking England to the final. That's where exactly it could go right for him. Otherwise, I would see Ronaldo still having a lot to gain, especially from the striker of this particular tournament getting that coveted prize.
Coming back to you, Narayan, 2018 World Cup finalists, Croatia out of the contention. Your thoughts?
Definitely, Croatia and the Spain versus the match was a tricky match of this tournament, and we can say that it was one of the best match of the footballing world after the France versus Switzerland match. So what went wrong for the Croatian team? They played right. They scored the first goal. That was an own goal by the Spanish goalkeeper. After that, their player Sarabia scored the goal in the 38th minute. Then Azpilicueta was there. He came, and after that, Ferran Torres also scored for the Spanish team. And after that, 2 goals from the Croatian team, and the match again went in the extra time. Now here the extra time comes into play. It's all about the fresh legs, young legs. If you talk about the most average age of the team in this tournament, it's Croatia. Their average age is around 27 years, and while Spain is the youngest team of this tournament with the age of 24 years. And when football is a game, is all about your stamina, your energy. It's an energy sapping game. When you play 90 minutes with all players get tired, and after that you go into the extra time, it's very tough for the players to maintain that tempo, and exactly that happened. And in the extra time, Spain, who have the more younger players, they fired on all cylinders and they scored fantastic goal, and clearly it was visible in the match. They scored 3 goals in that extra time, and that was we can say that what happened where Croatia lost the plot.
My next question to you, Anil, is that looking at the current lineup of quarter finalists, top 3 observation of yours.
Well, I think this is not unexpected lines. This particular tournament has been, split wide open purely in terms of form and in terms of what was brought to the table. Big names are missing, so that's the biggest cause of concern. When you don't have the big names, you don't have the fan following behind them. But that also opens a Pandora box for people to, cling on to, say, a Switzerland, cling on to a Ukraine, the style of football that they bring to the table, and that's going to be interesting. But my big picks will be the way in which Italy, England play in this particular outing. Also my look will be at Spain, because Spain is doing a lot of possessional football, so it could be an interesting contest. But my 3 picks will be Italy, Spain, and also the manner in which England play, because England is not conceded a goal in this tournament, and from 1996 that's the form that very rarely that you see an England team performing. They are always high on showing off their scoring skills, but never good in the defense. And I think full marks to Gareth Southgate in the way in which he's managed this side. So Italy, England, along Italy, England will be my hot 2 picks for the final. I would say, I would stick my neck out and say for the finals if that option arises. But all in all, I would say, it's still an open tournament for anybody. One bad night of football, France is out, Netherlands is out, even Portugal is out. So it could be anybody's night, but you'll have to wait and watch.
Narayan, with England haven't been able to concede a goal yet in this tournament, can they finally make it through to the finals?
Definitely a stupendous and a superb football displayed by the England team here, right from the match day one here. And the way their coach Southgate, he's done an extraordinary work here. In the match against Germany, the eyebrows were raised by many football experts when he just benched their creative talents like Phil Foden and Jack Grealish, and he showed faith on Saka, the Arsenal player. But Saka displayed an excellent performance during the match, and after the half time he bought Jack Grealish, and definitely he did wonder for the English team and gave an assist to Harry Kane, who was looking out of his shadow, out of his world-class best in this tournament. He gave an assist to Harry Kane, and Harry Kane scored a goal for the England team. And I would say that it will be the main turning point for the England, because Harry Kane was looking out of the form. He's a world-class player. He was never looking like that. Looking like he was a world-class player. But this goal that he scored towards the end of the match definitely will give a confidence boost to him. And in the coming matches also, it will be very important for the England, because the form of Harry Kane, the confidence of the Harry Kane is very much important for the England, and definitely this will define this tournament for England.
Thank you so much, Anil and Narayan, for joining us and giving us a rounded perspective on the biggest upsets of Euro 2020 before the quarterfinals. We will be coming back to you for a rapid fire round. Well, those were the biggest upsets of Euro 2020 so far. Now let's take a look at some interesting facts from the current European Championship 2020 edition. Let me pull up some graphics for you. Till now, starting with the number of matches, 44 matches have been played out of 51 so far. A total of 123 goals have been scored, with most of the goals scored between the 46th to 60th minute of the match. 9 goals were scored between 1st to 15th minute. 15 goals were scored between 16th to 30th minute. 14 goals were scored between 31st to 45th minute. 4 goals were scored in 45 plus minutes. 26 were scored between 46th to 60th minute. 21 goals were scored between 61st to 75th minute. 9 goals were scored between 1st to 15th minute. 15 were scored between 16th to 30th minute. 14 was scored between 31st to 45th minute. 4 goals were scored in 45 plus minutes. 26 goals were scored between 46th to 60th minute. 21 was scored between 61st to 75th minute. 9 was scored between 1st to 15th minute. Top scorer of the tournament is Cristiano Ronaldo of Portugal, having scored 5 goals, 1 assist across 360 minutes and 16 attempts. Then comes Patrick Schick of Czech Republic, having scored 4 goals with 0 assists across 325 minutes. We then come back to Karim Benzema, having scored 4 goals, 0 assists, 349 minutes and 11 attempts. Let's start with a rapid fire round. Anil, my first question to you. The rule is that you've got to answer it in one word only, the first top thought on your mind.
Okay.
Best game so far?
I think Germany versus Portugal.
Worst performance by a player?
Kylian Mbappe.
Funniest moment?
Funniest moment, the self-goal by the Spanish keeper.
Best performance by a player?
Raheem Sterling.
The goosebump moment?
I think Christian Eriksen's collapse there on the ground.
Best goal so far?
Luka Modric.
Comeback moment?
Comeback moment, Switzerland, yes, down against France, coming back.
Player to look forward to?
Harry Kane.
Player of the tournament? Guesses?
Player of the tournament, I would still say Cristiano Ronaldo. 5 goals, 1 assist, clearly the player of the tournament.
Guesses on title winner?
Italy.
Moving back to starts of Euro 2020 so far, here's another set of one showing performance of top 3 teams. Glancing through the stats, the top scorer of the match is Spain, having played 4 matches, won 4, and scored 11 goals. Denmark is at number 2 position, having played 4 matches, won 2 and scored 9 goals, while Italy is at the 3rd position, having played 4 matches, won all 4 and scored 9 goals. Till now, we saw biggest upsets of Euro 2020, interesting facts and discussed a lot. Now, it's worth taking a look back in the history, recollecting few of the biggest and major upsets that have taken place in the history of European Championship.
The European biggest shocks in Euro history. The Czech Republic's 2-0 victory over the previously fancied Netherlands provided perhaps the biggest surprise of UEFA Euro 2020 so far. But was it a bona fide shock? We look back at some of the most eyebrow-raising results in the competition's history. 1988 group stage, England 0-1 Republic of Ireland. Ray Houghton once said as he looked back on his nation's finals debut, he doesn't think that anybody in Ireland gave them a prayer in 1988 group stage match. Houghton headed back Jack Charlton's side into a 6th-minute lead and they survived an England barrage thereafter thanks to the heroics of goalkeeper Pat Bonner. 1992 group stage, Sweden 2-1 England. Reflecting on the strike that sent England home in 1992, Thomas Brolin said that goal is always shown in Sweden and everywhere I go people ask me about it. England led after 4 minutes but the finals hosts kept believing. Brolin's 82nd minute finish, the coup de grace after Jan Eriksson had equalized. 1992 final, Germany 0-2 Denmark. Denmark did not qualify for Euro 92 and were drafted in just 2 weeks before it kicked off when Yugoslavia withdrew. A month later, they were European champions John Jensen and Kim Wilford, scoring in the final to complete their improbable journey. 1996 group stage, Czech Republic 2-1 Italy. Defeated by Germany in their opener, the Czechs' fortunes turned in their second game. Enrico Chiesa cancelled out Pavel Nedved's early opener, but Luigi Apollini's dismissal and Radek's finish set them on course for the final. Many things happened and everyone enjoyed them all. 2004 group stage, Latvia 0-0 Germany. Latvia lost 2-1 to the Czechs on the Euro debut but rallied to hold Germany and even came close to an astonishing victory when Maris Verpakovskis raised clear moments before half-time. Coach Alexandros Starkovic called it a historic result. 2004 final, Portugal 0-1 Greece. The Portugal was technically better than Greece, but they took advantage of chances that day. Otto Regel's side had silenced the home crowd in Lisbon. Angelos Charistias' header was enough to defeat the overwhelming favourites, who included a young Cristiano Ronaldo. The Greeks made football history that day. 2016 round of 16, England 1-2 Iceland. It took Ragnar Sigurdsson fewer than 120 seconds to cancel out Wayne Rooney's 4th minute penalty, Kolbeinn Sigursson's first half finish and a measured second half display, earning the debutants a miraculous win. They thought this would be a walk in the park, said goalscorer Sigurdsson. How wrong England were. Sports Desk, DD India.
Let's take a look at the much-awaited quarterfinals lineup at Euro 2020. The quarterfinal first will be on Friday, 2nd July between Switzerland and Spain at St. Petersburg. The second quarterfinal will be in Munich between Belgium and Italy, falling on 2nd of July. The third quarterfinal will be between Czech Republic and Denmark on Saturday in Baku, falling on the 3rd of July. The fourth quarterfinal will be between Ukraine and England on Saturday, 3rd July in Rome. And the most awaited finals of the Euro 2020 Championship will be in London on 11th of July. It will be between the winner of semi-final 1 and the winner of semi-final 2. Football has always been the biggest festival of fans and becomes almost more the reason to celebrate when it comes to Euro Championship. Here we bring you pictures from all across the world of sports where football fans are celebrating along with their reactions. hard to say goodbye, but calling for a wrap right now. We promise you that we'll be back with more facts, interesting ones and stories with match roundups on Euro 2020. Meanwhile, lot more awaits on the other side with news and updates from around the world. Keep watching DD India and keep yourself safe by wearing a mask, sanitizing your hands and most importantly, vaccinating yourself. Bye-bye.